Hi friends, many UPSC aspirants have asked me this question. So how to prepare for GS? Very important preparing for GS, and especially today in this video, I'm going to let you know about how to prepare for Indian polity. You know very well, Indian polity constitutes 1/6 of the GS. And this one sixth again, it is very important to know about where to prepare from and how to prepare also. Let me get into certain fundamentals of the preparation material. You can refer NCRT text of whatever the content given for the Indian polity. Let it be, it is actually meant as civics for the NCRT, and also they are briefing about Indian constitution very well. And other than that, very important, you need some standard text to be read. Because why standard text? Most of the time, the guides published in the market are orienting of the areas which has been asked in the previous years. So they try to summarize and try to make it a comprehensive material what so far UPSC have asked. So the guide can give you a broad outline, and also the questions in the past asked, and designing the chapters based on that also. But very important, when you want to know about the future question areas and the question content as such, then it is very important to read some standard Indian polity texts like D.D. Basu, because those standard national standard texts are very important to know about, not only a textual orientation, also the standard authors orientation can give you the UPSC orientation, how the questions are being taken and where it's taken, and in which orientation the questions are being taken. So let me again tell you very important basic material that NCRT, and I suggest that D.D. Basu. Apart from that, these basic book, you require the Direct Constitution of India for as a referral material, because any constitution article, you need to go and see that article and refer the article, and just read about exact description, and the whatever the footnote amendments being given, in which amendment and what are the reasons again that they've given. Just read about many times, it may be a question area also. That is why the Bar Act Constitution of India should be used as a referral material. Apart from this, again, the publication division that has published many books on related to Indian polity, like Our Parliament, written by Subhash Kashyap. These are all some conceptual material which gives you a good understanding about the Indian polity knowledge orientation for the UPSC point of view, because that is all the very important authentic source material for the UPSC prelims and mains question paper. So now let me get into these all the standard material. NCRT, D.D. Basu, as a referral material, try to buy the Bare Act and keep it with you to see what is the exact verbatim of that particular article as such. And now let me get into the other important component of the Indian polity preparation. This is not only for the Indian polity, for any chapter, any subject as such. You need to go through the previous question paper at least for some 20 years to 30 years, so that you can get to know the past orientation, like why, where, how, and even when. Sometimes a particular chapter or topic can become a current affairs topic. Like sometimes the debate happens for the women's reservation. So you can see the 73rd, 74th Amendment would have given an opportunity, and there is an article, you know, that 243D, which provides reservation for the women and also for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. So in the same way, the current affairs orientation, you may get to know if there is a debate regarding uniform civil code. So you need to get to know the article specific, a factual verbatim, a factual statement in the Indian Constitution as such given in the article, so that you can very well be aware of the factual statements. And now let me get into the UPSC prelims mains quality orientation. Very important. There are major components of the Indian polity. You are expected to know these major components. One, the preamble. Before preamble again, you are expected to know about the constitutional developments. So here, the constitutional development, though the British people have come here and ruled India, but they formalized the ruling India based on the Government of India Act 1858. That's the first act to govern India by the British Parliament, enacting an act, Government of India Act 1858. And these 1858 Government of Act Indian Government of India Act 1919, Government of India Act 1935. All these features are very well reflected in the Indian constitutional making. So that is why you are expected to know about, as part of Indian polity, these historical developments of the Indian constitution. And now let me get into the major components. So I said pre-independence and the pre-constitutional developments like Government of India Act and even Indian Council Act also can be taken as polity developments in the constitutional developments. And now let me get into the major components of the Indian polity. One, the preamble. Though it's again a conceptually, sometimes conceptual questions are asked in the essay and in the mains and also the interview. Many conceptual questions, not a debating questions, but to know about your conceptual clarity about republic, democracy, socialism, secularism, and even democracy. So there are some conceptual clarity established in descriptive format, writing in a descriptive format in the essay or in the Indian polity for paper 2 of the mains examination. And even it helps your to establish the ethics of a personality based on the constitutional values in paper 4, ethics and integrity. And your conceptual clarity very well established even in the interview, asking some political oriented questions or the controversies, political controversies asked from the Indian polity orientation. So very well required to know all these, and for this very important, you need to know the basic component, like I said, preamble, which is a conceptual one. The second one I said, and also the factual questions being asked for the prelims. So if you go through the previous question paper, how many questions they have asked? Not more than 5 or 6, or in the span of some 25 years. And very important, even for the mains also, out of 5 years, only one question being asked for the preamble. So you can very well see those questions or the referral points to prepare your preparation orientation for the preamble. Now let me get into the second component, fundamental rights. First one is preamble. Second one is fundamental rights, fundamental duties, and DPSP. And the controversy, the controversy between fundamental rights and the DPSP, and its connected amendments also. And the case laws which emerged out of FR versus the fundamental rights versus DPSP state, the directive policies, directive principles versus state policy. So that is the DPSP. And now the third component is about the federal features of the Indian constitution or the Indian polity. Federal feature, when I say federal, it is nothing but the union and the state. So both has executive and the legislature, whereas only union has that's why it's unitary nature, the judiciary. We know very well that the union executive and the state executive, union legislature and the state legislature. So you are expected to know about the union executive, the president, vice president, council of ministers headed by the prime minister, and in the state legislature again the governor, how the governors are appointed and the appointments, and that is why the questions have been asked many times based on the appointment, the governor's appointment, whether we require an appointed governor or an elected governor. So this kind of debatable questions are very limited questions asked during your mains examination, or even sometimes to know about your clarity of the thought in terms of constitutional appointments, how the governor appointment is very important. So in the legislature also, union legislature, state legislature, union legislature, most of the time the questions are about the legislative procedure and the constitutional committees, and even about the parliamentary the officers, and the members of the parliament, members of the legislature, so the MLA and MPs. So these questions are If it is union executors, you know very well the powers of the Rajya Sabha, exclusive powers of the Rajya Sabha and the exclusive powers of the Lok Sabha. These questions are very important questions, and some procedural factors, even like an impeachment process. That is all the legislative procedure, and even the procedural factors for the bills as such, like an extraordinary bill or a money bill, any bill as such. So these procedures are asked to ascertain your clarity about the legislative procedures and the how the role of a committee are getting into. So these procedural factors of the center and the state very important to prepare for the Indian polity. And if a union legislature, state legislature taken together, there are around some 30% of the questions being asked regarding this component. Now the judiciary. Judiciary, I stated, it's a unitary and union subject. Supreme Court and the procedural factors, appointment, why judiciary, how judiciary is independent. That's why they're asking about the appointment and the salary and also the other features of the this constitutional setup, judicial setup. And they ask about the apex court of the Supreme Court and even the High Court, how it serves purpose regarding some issues like writ all. And the concept of even SLP also. How when some petition can lead to Supreme Court, these procedural factors are established. Apart from this, you know very well that certain subordinate courts at the district level and the municipal level, these courts are very essential, quintessential of providing justice to the citizens of the India. So in that way, very important the fourth component and the fifth component. Very important component where most of the questions being asked. The Constitutional Authority, Election Commission, Comptroller Auditor General of India, Union Public Service Commission, and the Finance Commission of India. They have their definite role and they are independent. You know that for a free and fair election conducted at all levels, you require the Election Commission to have an effective and also check over the executives, the legislative control over the executives. You require a Comptroller Auditor General of India with constitutional authority, and to have a very important again the UPSC made constitutional authority. It's because the recruitment process should be very independent so that no influence of the executive happens, and the recruitment should be of total integrity. So that is why these features are very important for components of the Indian polity. So again, I'm telling, prior to the pre-constitutional developments, Government of India Act, 1858, 1919, and the 1935, and all these features, how it's getting reflected in the the Constitution of India, and most of the features it is reflecting in the Constitution of India. That is why you require in the constitutional development history, these things should be read. And commencing from the preamble, you know, it's a conceptual. You are expected to know conceptual clarity and also the factual clarity. Both are very important for the Indian polity. For the conceptual clarity, Indian preamble from the prelims point of view, most of the time are factual questions, whereas the prelims, the mains has the conceptual clarity about the preamble and even the interview also. Fundamental rights, DPSP, duties, and even the this fundamental rights, DPSP related amendments, or most of the time the factual questions for the prelims. For the mains examination, maybe of a debatable issues like based on the case laws and the duties essentials, and a fundamental specific fundamental right issues like the constitutional development of the right to education. Like previously, it was though it was not a constitutional right. Now, Article 21A, how it becomes a constitutional fundamental right again. So that is all the basic feature of the Indian polity to be known for the prelims point of view and for the mains point of view, maybe of a conceptual discussion, concrete conceptual discussion, not actually very confusing, debatable issue. So these things should be kept in mind that when you prepare for, don't go for debating, but a conceptual clarity creation very important as concepts. Now let me get into the very important source apart from the NCERT and DD Basu. You have the opportunity to download the Constitution of India Parat in your mother tongue, that like Tamil, let it be Telugu, Kannada, or Marathi, Gujarati, all the languages you have Constitution of India translated. And it's very important, if you visit the www.legislative.gov.in Constitution of India, you will get your language Constitution of India, which will be very helpful to develop the basic polity legal jargons for writing answers for the mains examination, and also to develop the legal jargons as note for the prelims also. So the legislative.gov.in is a very important website. That's a legal website. So this website will give you very good material access apart from NCERT and the DD Bus. So summing up, I'm telling Indian polity requires, it is based on the Constitution of India, but the Constitution of India, from the functional point of view, you need to know about the three organs: executive, legislature, judiciary, from the union point of view, and from the state point of view. Apart from that, I said that the constitutional bodies like Election Commission, Comptroller General, and also the UPSC, Finance Commission of India. So these components are very important component from the overall conceptual clarity and the factual clarity for prelims and mains examination. If you start seeing previous the basic, focusing on basics, and try to go through all the previous question papers for prelims and mains, and take the content, the question content area, and put it in your preparation material, and always have the question UPSC question orientation when any time you are preparing for any subject as such. And it's the same for and the Indian polity also. Never deviate, and maybe the guide can give you an outline so far for the examination how the questions are being asked. If really you want to know the question orientation from the standard author point of view, you need to read the standard text. Then you will be aware of how the questions are being framed and being asked as a question for prelims and mains examination. Because the standard text becomes the question source to be referred by the question setter from the examination point of view. If you are aware of this, all the best for your Indian polity preparation. If you have any question, please, after seeing this the Indian polity orientation, please post your questions. Let me give some written reply based on your questions. All the best for your Indian polity, which constitutes 1/6 of your basic GS preparation for prelims and mains.